to do like radio interviews or anything like that, mate?
I've never done anything like that. No, I had a radio interview for Pink Custard Day in primary school when I was 7 years old. But
that's one more radio interview than I've done.
I just told the presenter she reminded me of a hedgehog and I can't remember why. That's why they don't interview 7 years olds on the fucking
I say because you're 7 and that's what 7-year-olds do.
That's what 7-year-olds say.
They're brutal.
You look like an hedgehog.
My son's like that. He's like
no,
the environment. Well, he's 9 now, but the environment in our house is like you're honest. You know,
yeah,
like, you're honest all the time. That's it. You're honest.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff he comes out with.
Best way to be, man. Best way to be. You know,
it's a blessing and a curse for him.
Yeah.
Because it's a blessing because he's always honest. Like, what's up? Oh, this. But it's a curse because out in public and he's like,
yeah.
Dad, look how fat that woman is. And, like, fuck. And she is, clearly. You know what I mean? He's like,
Man United fan. It's you what, mate?
And you're like, yeah. What did he say? And I'm like, oh, nothing, he's drunk. Drunk?
He's drunk.
He's about 5-year-old.
He's a drunk midget.
Yeah.
He's a drunk midget, he's a leprechaun.
Oh, that was actually one of the things we said with that was, we went to a health spa and we wanted to go in like the sauna and the steam room and all that kind of shit. And it's like, you know, it's not going to kill him. It's fucking, I know you shouldn't let him in there for an hour at a time, whatever. I said to him, I was like, right, we're going to go on the outdoor bit, right? And kids just aren't allowed in there at all. It's like the adult area. It was like, okay, so if anyone asks you and stops you and say how old you are, say, I've got a condition, I'm 35. And he was like, all right. And he got stopped. And he says, excuse me, you can't take kids. And Axel went, excuse me, I'm 35, I've got a condition.
Oh, mate, that's brilliant.
And the guy was like, oh, I'm sorry. And we went outside. And we got in this spa bit, like, you know, the like hot tub type bit. People were drinking and shit as well. So I was like, it's probably not a good idea, actually.
That was brilliant.
And then the guy came back and he went, and he was just looking at me. And then my boy started laughing. And he was like, all right. I was like, fair enough, mate. You know, you got to try it on. He was like, yeah, farewell. He was like, you did proper stump me with that, like.
I love it.
Oh. But then because of that, obviously, it doesn't work in my favour also. Because he'll pull shit like that on me.
You can't be mad, you learnt it from somewhere.
Yeah, exactly that. If I was like, Axel, what are you doing? He's like, no, I wasn't sleeping.
I fucking love that name, Axel. It's a right name.
He's like, I wasn't sleeping there, I was just resting my eyes for a minute. And I'm like, you like my
you heard me say that, didn't
you? you heard me explain that to someone.
I said that after Christmas dinner.
Right, so, who are you and what band are you in?
My name's Conor Breen. I do solo stuff under my own name and I play in a band called Children of the Year.
Very nice. Okay, list of questions I'll go through, we'll just riff on any of them. What got you started in music then, Conor?
I just got a guitar one Christmas when I was like really young, like I was fucking 6 or 7, and I was at that age where kind of like I'd just be like playing with like Spider-Man or whatever, and then walk along, pick guitar up, make some noise, you know, like not stressing out over it, and like
don't want anything from it.
Yeah, just playing with it, and then kind of like, oh, I'm gonna learn a few chords, and I ended up obviously learning how to play the thing. And I always think now, years later, if I'd have picked it up later when I was older, I'd have just got too stressed out and put it in bin or something like that. I think because I was so young and just chills that I just took to it.
Just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And a lot of people are trying to start later on in life, and they're always like, oh, I learnt 2 chords, but then it was stressing me out because I couldn't get this thing.
Yeah, and those people have always got like a $2,000 fucking Fender like Jag, just
and they're following it step by step.
Yeah, and you're like, what have you done? It's amazing.
Okay, musical influences. What's influenced you, and also what kind of music do you listen to?
Well, the first I can ever remember being my favourite band, and I still love them. Green Day were like the first main influence, and then that kind of through that I found the Clash when I was around 10 years old, and that fucking changed everything when I found the Clash. As it does, it's the Clash. They're amazing. Yeah. Then straight into all punk music from that, really. Everything, gateways open across into all your 80s American punk, like your Descendants, Black Flag, stuff like that. Up to like modern day, mainly punk influences, but like obviously back in like 2006 when I was a kid, there was the whole indie thing, so it was like Arctic Monkeys, Jamie T, were absolutely everywhere. The cribs, I love the cribs.
It was the re-emergence of good music.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. There's like bands everywhere, man.
Yeah.
So that obviously a lot. And Bruce Springsteen.
Really?
Yeah, man. He's a fucking.
I like Bruce Springsteen. Don't get me wrong. I would have thought.
The boss. You can't not like. He's called the boss. It's brilliant.
True.
What a man.
That brought up a good point there. How often do you get mistaken for Billy Joel, and do you like it?
Billy Joel, piano man.
No. What's it called? Sorry, from Green Day.
Never in my life. No way. I've not written anywhere near enough good songs to be at that level. Maybe you can mistake me as. I don't know. I'm looking around trying to find someone. Dean Martin.
Right. Okay. What's your drink?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. It's actually a drink that they have in here on tap. Gamma Ray Beavertown IPA, 5.4%. Absolutely delicious. It's
available at where are we right now?
We're at Hilltop Tap in Hemsworth Brewery. It's great. Local brewery over in Mexborough, where the main pub is, and then this is like the kind of little sister pub, I guess, so to speak. And it gets absolutely fucking rammed and everyone gets really drunk. We come here after every gig we play with Children of the Year. Come back here, we end up back in this room. Absolutely rammed, absolutely steaming. It's brilliant.
Perfect.
It's like a mecca.
They have a lot of other bands that come in here.
A lot of local musicians, because it's so small. It's just really acoustic acts that play up in the front, but like it's becoming a lot more of a regular thing. David, that owns the place, is kind of embracing the fact that we've come to him saying like, oh, can we play? Or like lads are like, can I do an acoustic night? And it gets rammed. People come, people enjoy it, so it just keeps happening now, more and more regular. It's really cool. Me and my friend are playing here at the end of March, just like a few covers and stuff, like just a bit of fun, but it's always a good night.
There's not a lot of pubs like that left nowadays.
I know.
You know what I mean? You go in and it's silent because they haven't got a music license.
Well, either
like,
that, or you go into a bar and you're like, fucking hell, this is a great function room or a really cool stage, and it's fucking a quarter full and there's a guy singing Michael Bublé, like a tribute act or shit like that, like cabaret singers, and it's like, right, now it's time for the bingo, and it's like, get local bands in it. Mate, have you seen what Emsworth Council are doing here? You probably haven't, right? No. They're forking out God knows how many fucking thousands of pounds for guess who to play a gig down Emsworth Water Park. Guess any band in the world. You won't guess it.
Go on.
The fucking Venga Boys.
What?
Yeah, the Venga bus is coming to Emsworth and no one fucking wants it to. Everyone up it crashes on way.
They were relevant up to about 3 weeks after they released a song.
For 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, for 3 weeks. They released a song, 3 weeks,
and there's so many like local musicians or like people from here that have gone off and formed bands in other cities that just love to just play anywhere for free.
Some real music.
Yeah. And then it's like, no, the council's spending all the fucking money on the Venga Boys, and no one wants them to.
I would love to meet the man who made that decision.
Fucking.
I can already picture him though.
I can't. He must be some kind of fucking alien. Well, I know his name, but I'm not going to say it.
No. Let's not go there.
No.
What are your aspirations for your music? From yourself, from the group?
I just fucking love doing it. Really, like it's so fun. I just want to keep doing it. I think just to be able to keep playing
making music.
Yeah, keep playing music, keep gigging. Like when I did the Chaos and Carnegie EP, those nights recording with Aaron, my best friend and the guy that produced the EP, was so fun. Like so fucking fun. We'd come in with like half a song maybe. By the end of the night, we've got a full song with glockenspiel on it and fucking so like all different reverbs and shit. And when we put it out, that feeling of it coming out were amazing as well. And like obviously the live aspect of it, playing with the band, coming back here sweating, knowing that we've just really enjoyed ourselves, all three really good friends on stage together. It's just brilliant. It's so fun.
That's a good reason to do it. They say music should be its own reward.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I never understand when people are like, oh, I'm so stressed out, this hasn't, whatever, and it's like, yeah, but you've, as a group of people, or as a solo guy, you've created something from nothing.
The only time I ever get really stressed out with myself is when I think I've not written a song in too long. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you set yourself quotas or?
No, never. But every now and then I'll just be like minding my own business and there's this voice in my head like, you've not written anything in a week. And I'm like, that's fucking terrible. And then I'll just write a song in like 10 minutes and it's alright.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel okay again now.
So you write songs How many songs have you written, would you say? Don't have to be just...
Fucking hell. Right, so I put out 4 really, really terrible albums between 16 and 18, all recorded in my bedroom. So that was probably about 60. I reckon we've got about... A few
Rough
hundred.
estimate.
Few
Few
hundred,
hundred,
yeah,
right.
definitely.
That's a lot of songs.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit though.
Yeah, but you've got to write... Obviously, I've not heard a lot of those.
Yeah.
You've got to write all
mate,
the crap to get to the good stuff, I think.
The
'Cause
second,
it's a skill, isn't it?
the second song I ever wrote, there's a lyric in there. I was 8 years old, and it says, "I've never met Elvis. Also, I've never broken my pelvis."
Perfect. You were rhyming at 8.
I think I was just trying to flex, like, yeah, I can fucking rhyme something with Elvis.
What stopped you from going into rapping, though, with spitting bars like that?
Too good.
Too good.
I'm too good.
You can play an instrument.
Yeah,
you can sing live.
I had to dial it back. I was too good at rapping. Everyone else started like threatening to retire. And I was like, I don't want to deprive everyone of like fucking Jay-Z.
Yeah, true.
So I just stepped back from the game and played guitar.
Did you have a good rap name lined up, just in case the
Colin.
live music? Colin.
Yeah.
Right, it's a strong name.
It is.
Strong rap name.
It's
Really
it screams the street.
Alpha Streets, doesn't it? And all the way from the main streets in Hemsworth.
Yeah,
it's Colin. Really emphasise the C. It's Colin.
Colin. It's not even that actually different to Conor, but somehow cooler.
One is an average, if not somewhat outdated name, and the other one strikes fear into the heart of his lyrical enemies. I'll allow you to decide which one.
Oh well, I'll mull that one over.
On the idea of writing, then I've got a massive interest in this myself. Is I'm trying not to use the term "what's your process" because that's cliched as well. But do you write the songs? Do you just allow the songs to pass through you? Are they out there and you catch them in some kind of guitar-shaped net? How would you describe how you write songs?
Usually lyrics first.
Right.
Like, and for years I thought that was crazy. I was like, how are you writing lyrics first? But like over time I've grown to write lyrics first. Like I'll just think of like a cool, snappy, kind of maybe funny line that I think like, oh, that's quite quirky, and I'll save it in my phone, whatever it is. Even if I come back to it a day later and I'm like, that is terrible, I'll save it, because then months later I might have another piece which kind of fits together. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes it's kind of like all comes from the idea of the one line that I've come up, and I'll just kind of fucking verbal diarrhea out of that and put it to music. Or other times it's just fucking so hard, and I'll have to piece it together over ages. But like, it's very scary when one comes out in like 10 minutes and you finish it and you're like, right, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah.
Because like, more often than not it's a good thing. I just wish it could happen more often.
Do you find the favourite songs you've written are the ones that have come out quick, or the ones you've worked on?
Really, the ones that come out quick. Yeah, I think that's because I think of the ones that I've worked on. I'm like, fucking hell, that was painstaking.
So you already like have a bad association with the song before you're out singing it.
Yeah,
you're like,
I guess like a bad
this took
association.
ages.
Yeah, this is a new song. I fucking hate it. No, but I think like I don't know. There must just be something natural about it, just kind of coming out the way it's meant to be, I guess. But then I guess I mean, I was telling you earlier, we've got a song in the band Children of the Year that we've not recorded yet, but all the bones of that music came from a song that me and Sam wrote when we were 16, so like years ago. And then we were kind of jamming in band practice one day, and we're like, oh, do you remember that fucking song we wrote? And then we jammed it, and then we were like, let's keep that bit and make an actual good song out of it.
Yeah.
So we did that, which I found
upcycling lyrics.
Yeah, exactly.
Or ideas.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we look at it like. Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, but I mean, the cliche is obviously is that, you know, when someone writes a good song and there's minimal effort, we'll say, you know what I mean? If it just kind of comes to people, they're like, oh, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Or where did that come from?
Yeah.
And I don't really have a stance on it myself, but I always find it, everyone's got something different. Like, do you ever sit down to write a song?
Yes, but I'm, only if I've got like a bit of an idea. I will never go, okay, I'm dedicating this hour to writing a song. Like, but I've always kind of got ideas, do you know what I mean? So like, if I come up with something, say, during the day while I'm at work, I write it in my phone, get home, have a shower or whatever, and then I'll get the guitar. Like, I did it yesterday, and I had an idea yesterday, and I got home, and I just finished the song straight away. Told the guys in the band I'll bring it to next practice, Did it again the other week. So I guess that if you can call it a process, I guess that's mine.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like whenever you speak, what's your process? It's like, you know, and usually the process is a lack of process.
Yeah, just
you know what I mean.
pure.
I asked someone, I was like, you know, what do you do first, the lyrics or the guitar part or an idea or a title? And he just said, yeah.
Yeah,
because it was like, like sometimes I hear something and I'm like, oh, that'd be really good, and then other times I'll be noodling on the guitar.
I didn't even think about taking it from a title. Yeah, because
that's how I do. Well, it'll be title first. Like an idea, a running idea first.
That's so interesting, that one to me, because like you must already have an idea of where the song's gonna go. Do you know what I mean? Or do you just kind of go, I'm gonna call this song?
No. I think what it is it's something on my mind. If something's on my mind, and a lot of the time I will walk the dog, like an hour and a half on my own out in the countryside, and I'll come back and I'll grab a pen, paper, and I will nearly write a song.
Yeah.
And I'll know how it's gonna go, and then I just have to. I'm not the best guitarist. I'll have to find the chords within the guitar.
That's good.
I'll be like, I don't know when to go, but, and then I'll have to look for the guitars, for the chords on the guitar and whatnot.
That's good to find what you're looking for, though. It's not easy.
No, I've got no musical theory.
Oh,
I think it'd help a lot. I was going to say, but I don't have it, so I can't compare it.
Yeah,
I've only ever done it without. That was my next question for you is, do you have music, like a theory background? Do you know what you're doing? I mean, obviously you'll know like that's C, D, but it's not like if you put a capo on, do you know what that's doing to it? Or
I know.
Other than like raising it up.
Half
tone or a semitone, whatever it is.
I know that. No, I've got zero theory whatsoever. Like there were multiple times in school where, back when they had this thing where to study music at my school you had to have music theory. So it got to a point where if I wanted to continue studying music at like A level or whatever, I had to learn to read music, and I tried and it didn't go in, and they were like, right, bye, and I had to do fucking English literature instead and read about 12 books at the same time. I was like, sick.
Right.
I could barely do that, never mind read music. But yeah, I've nothing, just all playing by ear, just figuring out chord shapes from being a kid and watching other musicians play and kind of being like, oh, where's he putting his fingers? And then obviously having friends that are super talented and trying to keep up with them.
Good people around you pushing you.
I can blag this, like he's really good. If I just turn mine down and just look as good as him.
Yeah. I tried to get through an entire jam night one time, and mate was like, oh, we'll just do 12-bar blues. And I was like, no problem. And I literally just turned the pickup on my guitar off, and everyone was clapping for him, and he was like, yeah, you killed it. I was like, no, I didn't.
Like, yes.
I was literally just miming my way through.
That is a solid effort, though. Entire jam night.
No one was any the wiser because there's so many people like playing on stage. You know what I mean?
Like Milli Vanilli, innit?
Yeah. Except without the money, and then.
And the dreadlocks.
Yeah, without the money, and then massive fall from fame. All right, talk us through. Will you talk me through your live rig? This should be quite short because in general, it tends to be an acoustic guitar, but you also play bass and electric guitar.
I play this acoustic just straight into whatever fucking PA's are there. This sounds so nice when you set it up proper. It just gets a really sweet tone out of it. When I play bass, I've got a Ampeg DI box, which I kind of just use as a stomper between like a dirty sound and just my normal bass tone. And then I play it through a Orange Crush bass combo, which is huge. It's great, man.
Physically or sonically, or both?
Both. I remember when we first bought it, we had it down at this old band practice space that we have, and me and Sam, the guitarist in Children of the Year, we were like figuring out what bass tones are the best and both kind of having a jam. We looked at each other and we were like, the one thing we've not done is see how loud it goes. So we turned it all the way up to the top and there was like no anything. So we were like, is it knackered? And I went, boom, like that. And you know the bit on Back to the Future where it fucking gets bored? It was like that. It's amazing. It was unreal. But yeah, that's a great amp. That kicks out some right noise.
I love valve amps, but when you get them anything up past about halfway, it's just I play a Strat, so it's
oh right, yeah, definitely.
I'm like, looks like I'm going in between again.
I love a Strat. Yeah, if I have to play electric live, I'll use Sam's guitar because we switched in Children of the Year a few times, and his guitar is like a custom, not custom, but like one of its kind Gibson SG, and it's gorgeous, man. He's had it since he was about 15, I think. and then he runs it through all these pedals that we've got. And then the guitar I use usually, it's very rare I play electric guitar of my own live unless it's like a party. We formed a punk band where we all dressed as Shrek and called ourselves the Shrek's Pistols. So I had to play guitar during that, and I just used my old electric from when I was a kid, which is a Stag Stratocaster, and it's just because it's so old and so dirty, it's just got this like chunk, this dirty tone to
It's
it.
got natural chunk.
Yeah, it's great.
How many times has he had the neck reset on his SG?
Oh, I've got no idea, but that G string on that guitar is a bitch. It just does not stay in tune.
The SG is my favourite sounding guitar, and I played one which had the 57 custom pickups in it as well,
Okay.
and it was the nicest guitar I've
They
ever.
are lovely.
But Jesus Christ, it's such a pig to like so neck heavy and that, you know what I mean? I mean it's a light
Yeah,
guitar, but
it's
so
so
neck
light,
heavy
yeah.
and that, and so
Yeah.
light as well. And with the angle of the headstock, I was like, that's gonna
They
last
are
2
crazy,
minutes in
aren't
my
they?
house. Never
Yeah.
mind going anywhere with it. Do you know what
No,
I mean?
it's a great guitar.
But yeah, they are beautiful guitars, and also AC/DC.
Yeah, that's it.
So
Also,
that is the
AC/DC.
sound of a guitar for
That
me.
is, yeah.
Is and always will be
Angus Young.
Angus Young.
Yeah.
SG plugged into a Marshall
Yeah,
stack.
definitely.
Everything dying,
Brilliant.
and that's it. It's like, you know, what pedals do you use? What?
I used to play in a band. I used to play drums in a band with a guy who was Angus Young in an AC/DC tribute band. I was so cool. We once opened for them, so he went from being Angus Young to then. Oh no, sorry. He went from playing with us to like running off stage and like taking off all his clothes, putting this little schoolboy outfit on, and then duck walking back onto stage with his SG. Is brilliant.
Awesome. Which is your favourite song of your own songs? Let's go you first, as in your
Okay.
personal project, and then...
At the minute, solo, I'd have to say the bridge from Chaos and Carnegie EP, purely because of the kind of big swimming guitar in the middle that like me and Aaron kind of came up with while we were recording, and the way it fades in, it like the production on that track, he nailed it, man. I'm so happy. And then there's like a new one that I wrote the other week, which I'm super buzzing with, and I like sent it straight away to like one of my friends, like, listen to this, like I'm so buzzing with it, like super excited about that one.
That's not one you've recorded yet, though.
No, I've got like a little scratchy demo on my phone, but not recorded yet. And then with Children of the Year, probably either Badwater Basin, that is so fun, like the instrumental in that is so fun, it's basically like a jam. And then or a song we've got called We Could Still Be Friends. That's a huge like setlist ender kind of a song.
Okay.
So everyone on that one just
Raise
lets
the roof
loose.
style.
It's huge. It's huge.
What was your first gig
Not-
ever? It
Yeah,
could be as
yeah.
trivial or as monumental as you like, but just your first gig.
My first ever gig, I was in year 5, which makes me 10 years old, and my other two friends in the band, as it were in year 6. It was their leaving assembly. So there was me who sung and played electric guitar. There was Jordan, she also played electric guitar, and my friend Jack who played the keyboard.
Interesting combination
And
of
I zero percussion or bass whatsoever. It's just like 9-year-old kids just going blonk. And so we played at the year 6 leaving party, and they had no mic stand, so my microphone was taped to, do you know the old overhead projectors?
Yeah,
It was one of them, so I was like that. And we were called Broken Motivation. And no man, and the teacher come out, she's like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to welcome Broken Motivation. And we come out like, hello. And we played a song that I'd written at the time called Get Out, which was, as you'd expect a 9-year-old song to sound.
Yeah.
And then we played a cover of a song called Knowledge by a band called Operation Ivy, who were an East Bay ska punk band in the late 80s.
Jesus.
Yeah.
At 9, I bet you blew the kids' minds at that.
Oh, it's tune. It's such a tune. They're a great band. Yeah, but that was fun. That was my first ever gig. I loved it. It's great. Just two songs and then done.
So good memories from the first one.
Straight into limo, mate. Yeah, brilliant. I loved it.
The mum-driven limo.
Oh yeah, it's great.
You can't mess with 9-year-old lyric. My kid wrote his first song, I don't know, 5 or 6, based on the fact of hearing him, and it was called Mr. Monkey Goes to Monkey Town.
Mr. Monkey Goes to Monkey Town.
Mr. Monkey Goes to Monkey Town.
See, I'm immediately drawn in. What did he do in Monkey Town?
Well, I don't want to give it all away.
Why did he go? Did he have a reason, or did he just think, fuck it, day off?
It's going to blow your mind. He went for bananas.
Yes!
He genuinely went for bananas.
I bet there's loads of bananas.
He climbed some trees. It's full of bananas there.
That sounds sick.
There was a lot of wind and the bananas flew out the trees.
So basically, you can just lay there and wait for him. Mr. Monkey taking it easy in Monkey Town.
It took a tragic tragic spin later on, if I remember correctly, and he didn't find love. Which I don't know how that got shoehorned into it.
Fucking hell.
He got the bananas, but he missed out on love. So,
yeah.
Well,
you went.
Got to question my own parenting here, right, and stuff like that. But he's got a creative mind. That's all I'm going to go with.
Well, if you can say anything, it's that you've never heard a song about that before.
No, not until that point. It kind of it's like, Dad, I want to write a song.
I go home and fucking steal it from you and claim it as my own, because that's amazing.
And next up, it's Conor Breen with Mr. Monkey Goes to Monkey Town. I'm like, bastard, he did it. Actually, I must be getting royalties off this.
You can't blame me, it's a banger.
Okay, what was the best gig you've ever done?
Best gig we've ever done?
You personally, or as a band? Or?
One of them was definitely my Chaos and Carnegie EP launch. Did it here.
It's in the YouTube.
Yeah, thank you. My friend Joel Small played Cajon, did backing vocals, and we had a fucking great time. Everyone came down for it. It was a right party. And then the best we've done as a band, probably we played up at the Pit Club up in Fitzy supporting the 48Ks last year, and that was kind of like the closest to a hometown gig we've had so far. It kind of sucks because we started right around the time that the pandemic kicked off, so we was like, we're a new band and we could not play any gigs. So like in about a year and a half we've done like 2 gigs. It sucked. But our first gig was really good as well. We did that at the local rugby club and that was carnage. That was just a mess. It was fucking brilliant. But yeah, probably up at the Pit Club, because we were all just, there's like videos that I watched back and we were all in party mode, like we were just having fun. It was great. It was really good. Okay,
leading into, what is the worst gig you've ever done? Don't have to name places or... Obviously,
oh my god!
You've not got that much to choose from based on the pandemic.
I have got the fucking worst gig anyone's ever played. Right, okay, so...
You don't have to name places or names.
Oh, no, it's fine, I will.
Okay.
So, I used to play a lot years ago at a pub called the Royal Standard in Sheffield. Really good music pub, it was great. Guy there from Barnsley used to put me on all the time. Anyways, he rings me one day, he goes, Conor, he says, got you a gig in Sheffield, it's at a pub called the Cream on London Road. So I'm like, fucking sweet. So I went through with my cousin, a few beers on the train, found this pub, I was like, oh, hello, and I'm like, I'm playing tonight, and the woman's like, yeah, no worries, and there's no one there at all, like, and I'm like, it's like an hour before I'm supposed to be playing. So like I'm just kind of sat not knowing what's going on. I rang the guy that sorted the gig out for me, and I was like, I'm here, and like no one else is, and he was like, oh, is it today? And I was like, yeah, and it's like, oh, I've like been promoting the wrong date. so like there was nothing going on at the pub that day, and the woman behind the bar was like, well, you're here now, aren't you? So you may as well. I was like, oh, great. She managed to find a guy in the corner of the bar that he turned out to be a sound engineer.
It just happened to be a sound engineer.
Yeah, I don't know if he just kind of hung around hoping for this, like,
this is it. Like, this is my moment.
Serendipitous moment of this guy that's been like royally screwed over. But he went, yeah, I'll plug you in, man. Like whatever. And he's like, you better get me a pint, or love. So he plugs in, and I'm stood there, and I'm literally playing to him. There's like no one else there, and like my cousin sat up, and he's like, oh, like that, and the bar's around the corner, so I can't even see if there's anyone at the bar, but I don't think there was. And I was getting like a minute into a song and being like, why am I doing this? And just stopping, and then being like, oh, I should fucking play another one. It doesn't matter, there's no one here, right? So I guess about halfway through this set, I think it was like half an hour, and this absolutely huge guy comes out of nowhere, right? And he's barreling across the room, steaming. And I then find out he's Polish because he grabs the microphone and just starts singing in Polish, like just absolute gibberish to one of my songs, which no one's ever heard. So passionately, man, he's going for it, and I just didn't know what to do. I just carried on playing. So I'm just playing, and this absolutely huge, steaming Polish guy is just screaming whatever into the microphone. Sound engineer jumps out of his booth and comes up and he's like wrestling in this Polish guy. He's like, what have I told you about doing this? And it's like, as if it's a frequent occasion. I eventually finish and I'm like, you know, so dejected. And bless her, the lady behind the bar, she like gave me the money anyway, but like it fucking sucked.
Solid effort on their behalf then.
Yeah, it was really, really good of him. Like they didn't have to, but I went round to the Royal Standard after to see like my friend that had promoted the gig. He was like, "I am so sorry, mate." And it was like, and I was like, "Get me a Jaeger bomb." It was brutal. It was so funny.
I think. What do you find worse, like a quiet night, as in a night like that, or more of a hostile crowd type, as in drunken, not paying attention, being abusive? Do you know this Ed Sheeran song type crowd?
Yeah. Oh, mate. Do you know what? I'd rather play to no one for the rest of my life than ever have someone ask me to play fucking Wonderwall again.
Really?
Really. Like,
there is a staple, isn't there, of like a guy's got a microphone, he's playing guitar, he is singing.
Yeah.
I will ask him to play,
and then it will be. I mean, I know
Oasis track.
The point.
Yeah, or it'll be an Ed Sheeran track now, or.
I don't know though. No, I'd probably go with like just the rowdiness. Like my friend Aaron, he'll be somewhere and you'll just hear this big booming voice, just take your top off, and I'm like, Aaron's here somewhere, and I love that. It's stupid. Some of the stuff you hear between songs, it just comes like, it's funny. It's funny.
I think the worst one I've seen personally was in Sheffield. I'm trying to work out if it's the same pub. It was in Sheffield, and a friend of mine played like a solo set, and he played to us and a group of a lot older looking guys who were sat there listening reasonably intently to what he was doing.
Aww.
And then afterwards we were like, all right, you know, and all the guys towards the end of my mate's set like disappeared. We thought nothing of it, and then to a crowd of literally me and my mate and my girlfriend who were about to leave, they came out in full 80s glam rock. The whole 9 yards with Marshall stacks, everything pushed out, and then just absolutely flew into it. And
was
we
it
were
the darkness?
Early days darkness.
That's fucking brilliant.
About 30 years too old for him. And we were just like, we can't leave. You know, we have to. We have to say. They were good at what they do. It's not my style of music, but they were good at what they did. Yeah, but they just absolutely.
Oh, it does suck.
But they ripped through it to 3 of us essentially. We were just like, well, you know, fair play to you guys. But I felt bad for him. I was like, damn.
It does really suck when you have those like days like that. Or like when you end up playing one of those kind of gigs where there's a fucking bouncy castle. And you're like, where am I?
And this one's called I'm currently readdressing all the decisions I led in my life.
Yeah.
To get me to this point.
And I've also got a lot of lyrics to censor on the spot somehow.
Alright, this is a question I've asked a couple of people now. What do you feel is the largest animal you could beat in unarmed combat in its natural environment?
Natural environment. Well, I'm not a strong swimmer, so I'm not going to say any form of aquatic creature.
Smart.
Like, what's the stakes in this? Do I get anything out of this, or just like the pride of knowing that I've like beaten a zebra up or something? Yeah. No.
You get to choose one prize at the end of it.
Anything. Right, okay, I'm play it safe and say crab then, if I'm getting a prize.
But
I'm going to take
however, the prize will only go to the person who has defeated the largest animal they can defeat in its natural environment.
I don't know, because like...
Because people can't say whale on a beach, because obviously they can't.
Because like even kind of what you'd see as a smaller animal are pretty fucking angry, aren't they? Like
animals are brutal, mate.
The smallest ones are angrier. The big ones don't eat you.
Honey badger, mate.
You just stamp
vicious animal on the face of the planet.
About them marmite badgers as well.
Yeah, what is it with badgers? Badgers in general are just horrible little bastards, aren't they? You know what I mean?
Oh god, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a vegetarian, so I just feel horrible either way. I want to fight. What animal could I fight? Maybe like an armadillo. Because, like, they don't have anything except defense.
they've got no offense.
Like, so if I'd hurt my hand, like, if I had to punch him, but, like, he couldn't hit me back.
True.
And they're not very fast, I don't think.
It'd be a safe fight.
Yeah, it would. I'd be in a lot of petting. And I also kind of don't want to kick the fuck out of an armadillo, but...
when you say it like that, it sounds pretty nasty, actually.
It does, yeah. I try to think of an animal that's a right bastard that deserves it.
Yeah.
But then again, we go back to the case of the animals that are bastards are the angry ones that will fucking rip your arm off and give you rabies and kill you.
There's always like, all the proper bastard animals I could think of. They'd tear you limb from limb.
I mean, not a seagull, mate. Have you seen them?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I've seen seagulls that I genuinely thought pterodactyl had flown in front of the sun. I was like, I was holding on to my son. He'll fly off with him.
Oh, God.
I'm a bag of chips, obviously.
I don't know. Do you know what, right? I'm going to go for a kangaroo because... Do you remember that video of that guy fighting that kangaroo? Cause
When it attacked his dog.
Yeah, it went for his dog,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Fucking no way!" and they squared up, and all he did was he just went boop, one punch, and this kangaroo wanted nothing. I'm pretty confident in my ability to land one punch on a kangaroo. Now I'm not saying it's going to be a devastating Ivan Drago fucking versus Apollo Creed kind of blow,
But it'd be enough to make it reconsider.
He'd probably think, "Hang on, fucking he came here for a fight today."
Yeah.
And
This guy's not messing around.
Yeah.
He means
okay,
business.
yeah, kangaroo.
Kangaroo. All right. Back on track with the band questions then. How did you guys all meet?
Me and Sam met because I was doing music in year 11, and I was kind of struggling with something, and one of the teachers was like, "Oh, why don't you go ask one of the A-level students for help?" And I turned around, and there was this dude in this big leather jacket with really long hair, and I sat next to him, and he's like, "I'm really hungover," and I'm like, "You're my new best friend." And then like it turned out that we had a lot of mutual friends. He was friends with my cousin, and found out he played guitar, and went down to his house one day where they used to jam with the old band, and immediately best friends. Used to jam together in an old band. I used to play drums, and we just hit it off. 16 years old thing, and then so that was me and Sam. We've played in like various bands throughout the years, and then Rob is just kind of like the local guy that plays drums, like, and everyone knows him because he's really good.
Yeah.
So when we started the band, we were like, he would never join the band because he's too busy. He's in a full-time band. Like he wouldn't have time for us. So we ended up putting like this ad. We didn't even think to ask him, and we put this advert on Facebook saying we wanted a drummer. And like a few weeks later, he kind of like commented like, "Oh, can I come for a jam with you?" And we were like, "Fuck! Like the best drummer in the world wants to come play with us." And we're like, "Yeah, mate. Yeah, that's cool.
That should be alright."
Yeah, why not? So he came down. He brought his kit to the band room, set up. Had his first rehearsal, all hit it off, nailed all the songs, and then he was like, "Right, can I leave my drum kit here?" And we were like, "He's just joined the band." And then a week later we had another practice, and I think I watched him drink about 40 cans of John Smith's.
Jesus.
It was amazing.
Unkillable.
But yeah, so that was, I guess, was the official first meeting of, like, we hung out at the pub before with Rob and stuff, but not to that extent. And then we went from like acquaintances to bandmates. It was brilliant. He's a genius, that boy.
That's the thing with drummers, isn't it? Is if you want to be involved in music consistently, be a drummer, because you'll never ever be out of a band.
No drummers.
There are no drummers.
Everyone's
and minimal bass players as well.
I'm only a bass player because like I'm not as good as our guitarist. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, well, I'll
play guitar. All right, I'll play bass.
I was like, well, I'm not gonna do that. You just make me look like a wally if I play guitar as well.
Tell me, people, something about you that they might not know. Interesting fact about you, might not know.
Interesting fact. Oh God. 10 years ago, are you a football fan?
I'm not.
Are you not?
Plenty of people
Well,
are.
this is going to mean nothing. This, fucking hold on to your hats, man. 10 years ago today, I met England and current Newcastle defender Kieran Trippier in a KFC in Barnsley. And now, since then, this is like a lesson of growth, right? We met at KFC in Barnsley 10 years ago. Since then, he's gone on to play for England, scored a goal in the World Cup, which sent the entire country mental. Played for Atletico Madrid, Tottenham Hotspur, now he's back in the Premier League, and I'm a vegetarian, so I don't go to KFC anymore.
So much has changed.
I know, it's touching, isn't it? You look back at how you've grown.
Do you think his chance meeting with you could be the secret to his success?
I think it was, because I told him, because he scored a free kick against Leeds the night before, and I went, Kieran, and he went, cheers, mate.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I think that was the pat on the back that he needed to go forth and be the man he is today. No.
Doubt was creeping in.
Yeah.
Is this really for me?
That was it.
And then you know what? That lad I met in KFC, he said, "Well done," and that meant everything to me. I'm going to pursue this football.
I'm trying to think of something actually interesting that people might not know about me, and there just isn't one. I don't have a middle name, so I can't be like, oh,
It's quite interesting.
My middle name's Penelope. Isn't that funny? No, nothing. I am a completely uninteresting individual.
I disagree with that.
Fucking no idea. No. I've fallen off a lot of bikes.
Motorbikes or push bikes?
Push bikes.
Or both?
Yeah. I just seem to like gravitate towards the ground as a that's how science works. But
It is.
like with my face,
You always break the fall of your face.
yeah, that's why I look.
Not faring badly for it. My face is held together with stitches of metal, mate. Alright, is there any question that you wanted me to ask you so you could answer it? Is there a question which you think, why don't they ask this?
No,
when they when they meet musicians and
it was the opposite.
why didn't you ask?
It was the opposite.
Because I'm always interested in the songwriting process. I've got a passing interest in what gear they use because, like, you know, if you play the same guitar as Jimi Hendrix through the same cable into the same amp, you will sound like Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
I genuinely used to believe.
No,
and since then I'm like, there is a slight gap of talent, skill,
you have to
passion.
be able to play your instrument.
Yeah.
A bit. Well, to be honest, I've never ever done an interview like this or anything before, so in my head I was thinking every question that you do ask me I'm going to be totally unprepared for, and I was like, oh god, I'm just going to be like yes, I like
that. I don't
guitar.
I wouldn't like to like say I'm going to ask you these questions so that everyone could
No, I
answer
enjoyed
like
it,
really
no.
witty and
No, I loved it. The animal one really, like, that's probably the hardest I've thought all day. And I've been at work today. I'm still going to be thinking about it on drive home. Like,
I think that I genuinely believe I have this conversation with a lot of people, and I genuinely believe there is an actual answer to it.
there isn't. Oh, there is.
There is. I think there
Is
is. Yeah. I reckon a giraffe. I reckon a choke it out, massive neck, huge target.
That's true. You kind of have to like
But
full body choke it.
yeah,
You didn't like.
I think it'd take a lot
because
because they've got the same amount of vertebrae in the neck as a human, just elongated,
You got
which
a
would
lot.
work in their favour. I've
You
done a lot of
thought about
research
this?
about this. Yeah, just in case.
You
It's
not
not
thought about
often
it. You researched it
I've been to Kenya on safari
just for that
just
reason.
to see it,
that's
and you know what? A
wicked.
giraffe in its natural environment, a lot bigger than you'd expect, even bigger than
They
you'd
are
imagine.
huge, yeah.
Yeah, they're like really big. And B, I started massively doubting the decision I've made. That if it push came to shove and they were like, person who fights the biggest animal and wins gets said prize. When I saw a giraffe and stood near it, I was like, yeah, no, probably not actually.
They are, mate, they're hench, you know. They're not skinny.
They're,
just because they've got
they're
a
pretty
long
muscular
neck, you
things.
see them.
I mean, gazelles and shit. Jesus, I
Yeah.
saw them in the wild, and I was just like, no chance, one of them. They are lightning
I'd
and made only of muscle.
I'd probably have a lot of muscle if I just ran around the African plains all day, but like,
Headbutting each other seems to be all they did.
Yeah.
Run around headbutting each other, and
so I'd be really, really like strapped, but really stupid from having that many bangs on head, I guess, wouldn't I, if I was a gazelle?
yeah, that pretty much sums up what I saw there.
Fast and stupid.
Fast, stupid.
Fast and
animals.
stupid. What a legacy to leave behind.
What was it like? Good guy, fast, stupid.
Fast. Describe it. I think redeeming personal qualities. Very
I
fast.
thought that was probably like my end of school report. What was it
Fast
like?
and
Fast,
from your PE
stupid.
teacher.
Yeah, from all my teachers.
Hey, run into that
He
wall.
could run fast. He went half daft.
I love it.
Right, I think we'll probably wrap it up there.
Cool.
Cheers, Conor, for joining
Thank you
us.
very much. It's been awesome.
And we look forward to the future release of many more songs.
Wicked. It'll come.